One thing we need to do is an audience analysis. That way we can match our topic to specifics about the audience.
You need strong supporting material and great research to establish your credibility with your audience.
Well, sure. And you also want to pay attention to the actual words coming out of your mouth. Your language is pretty important.
Hey, can you hear me down here? Don't forget about vocalics, which is also extremely important. One of the primary purposes of giving any presentation is for our voice to actually be heard.
And that's great, but what about a thesis? We need to have something specific that the audience can wrap their brain around in order for them to understand what we're talking about.
You have to give a lot of consideration to the organizational pattern that you're going to use. You need a clear beginning, middle, and end, because if you don't know where you're going, your audience will never be able to follow.
And don't forget about our grammar or our articulation, how clearly you were actually talking, including those pesky little fillers, the ums, the uhs, the likes, and the so's that don't actually belong. We can't forget about those.
Well, you also want to pay attention to your physical cues and your nonverbal behavior.
So you've just heard from 4 of our faculty members in the communication department about what they feel really makes a good speech. But what does make a good speech? Sherry, can you tell us?
The National Communication Association, perhaps 15 years ago, developed a model for competent public speaking. That means giving a speech really well and really effectively. In that particular model, they defined just 4 things that you do when you're developing and planning your speech. The first thing is you choose and narrow a topic. Second thing is you develop a purpose specifically for that particular topic. Once you know what your purpose and thesis are, then you go about gathering, number 3 competency, gathering information, support materials, great ideas for accomplishing the purpose. And then your 4th thing, while you're still preparing, is you organize those support materials and those ideas into a very coherent organizational pattern and outline. If you do those 4 things really well, then you're ready to stand up and speak. What do you do then? The National Communication Association, these experts on public speaking, said the first thing you do is choosing words and language that are exciting and bring the speech to life. Next thing you do is you figure out how to use your voice, vocal variety, in a dynamic and exciting way so that the speech is really effective. Next thing, next competency, along with using your voice in an excited way, is to use it correctly and appropriately. You may wonder then, but what about all those other nonverbal cues? The last delivery competency is about the array of nonverbal cues that you should use to both enhance your spoken message and not distract in any way from it.
So let's take a closer look at each one of those competencies and what it looks like to do each of them well.